Our planet is full of astonishing places and filled with an abundance of environments so breathtaking that, to the human eye, seem almost impossible. These ecosystems and biomes are incredibly intricate and fragile. But what happens when that fragility is met with unrelenting pressure? Ever since we first walked the earth, we have been suppliers of this said pressure, and year by year, the fragile environments around us have cracked more and more under the overwhelming weight of our own hands. Now, many of these gorgeous places are bleak remnants of what they used to be, and if we remain oblivious, they will soon be nothing more than corpses. Over the past century, the Earth's climate has been changing at a dangerously rapid pace. Temperatures have risen, glaciers have melted, and storms have intensified. This phenomenon is what we call climate change, and it is almost entirely our fault.
Certain things have changed in the Earth, namely there's a lot of carbon that used to be in the geosphere, in the rocks below the surface of the Earth, that have then been liberated through human activities, mining and then burning of fossil fuels, coal, oil, natural gas, to increase concentration of certain gases that acts kind of like a blanket, trapping heat inside of the Earth. This does not immediately cause all temperatures to rise everywhere all at the same time, but create a trend of warming where on average we have more warm days than we used to, and we have fewer cold days than we used to. On the whole, increasing the temperature range of pretty much every region on Earth.
In late 1950, a scientist by the name of Charles David Keeling began measuring atmospheric CO2. And in 1961, he discovered that CO2 levels had begun climbing at a dangerous rate. His research revealed that atmospheric CO2 had increased by about 21% from 1958 to 2005, going from roughly 315 parts per million, or ppm, to about 350. Currently, as of April 2026, atmospheric CO2 levels have reached almost 432 ppm, and it's only going to continue rising from here. So what does this mean for us?
Due to the rapid increase of Earth's overall temperature, many glaciers and ice caps have begun to melt. This retreating of natural ice adds more water into the Earth's oceans, causing the sea level to rise. This poses a significant risk to the livelihoods of many people who live in coastal areas, as it puts them at risk of permanent or long-term flooding. Even worse, climate change as a whole increases the intensity of storms, further devastating many areas and people who already experience frequent floods, hurricanes, and other natural disasters. On the contrary, climate change is having opposite, but just as negative effects on drier regions and the communities that live there. Higher temperatures increase the length and intensity of droughts and famines. For many countries who are already famished, this is only causing them to lose more resources and many more human lives.
Southern Somalia is facing this emergency after repeated droughts displaced hundreds of thousands of people who are already struggling with poverty. In camps on the outskirts of Kismayo, families fleeing drought say they are arriving with nothing after months of failed harvests and worsening food shortages.
By just 2050, cities such as New Orleans, London, Hamburg, and Dubai are predicted to be significantly harder to live in, if not inhabitable. As the clock continues to tick, one final question must be answered. What are we going to do about this?
Many organizations and conventions such as the UNFCCC, the Kyoto Protocol, and the Paris Agreement have all tried, but unfortunately failed to stop climate change. And unfortunately, it is now far too late to completely stop it. We have reached a point in which its future effects are completely inevitable.
Mobile home
This morning,
community.
the firestorm officials
As you can
feared
see, it's
becoming
becoming
a reality
long
with a
road to
third
recovery and
out-of-control
restoration here in Lincoln
wildfire
County.
exploding
Many of the
overnight in
people
the
we
Los
spoke with
Angeles
say they
area.
are still just
At
trying
the
to
end of
even
the
process
day,
what happened,
who's
as they
ready
have
for something
never
like this?
experienced something like this
Overnight,
before.
flames reaching the
They can say
iconic
the worst is
Malibu
behind
neighborhood
us.
and its beachfront.
However, even though we can't stop the effects of climate change, there are still many ways that we can reduce them. Some smaller actions, like conserving energy and water, recycling, and cleaning up trash, can easily add up to make a big impact on the health of our planet.
We are doing ourselves the most harm by overusing goods and services. So any way that we can make changes to transportation, it may be something as simple as not online shopping as much, because we know that deliveries are burning fossil fuels just as much as us driving our own cars. So making small changes like that, consuming as little as possible, I think will make one of the biggest impacts, and just really being cognizant and thinking about what we consume.
If you want to take it a step further, there are countless organizations like the Climate Action Network and Planet Wild and the National Forest Foundation that you can donate to. And donating to small organizations more local to you can also make a difference. But perhaps the best measure you can take is to speak up. Climate change is a serious problem, and you may be surprised by how many people, especially among younger generations, know next to nothing about it. The more awareness we can raise, the bigger a difference we will make.